These interviews took place around the time of our workshop on the development of the State of Land Tenure and Governance report.
First of all, it's important to talk about land governance because land is often at the center of development issues in the positive or in the negative way. Land is very central. All investments in agriculture and in rural development are based on secure tenure rights. Without secure tenure rights, there won't be investment. Without secure tenure rights, there will be challenges with human rights, etc., etc. So addressing land governance is the first stepping stone towards more sustainable development. The second part is that land governance is very central towards all the other type of challenges and governance related to that. So if you don't address land governance, it will be difficult to address, for example, I said already, rural development, but also climate change, biodiversity challenges, etc., etc. All of these are very much related to land governance, and trying to address other challenges will often start with land governance.
The report is an opportunity for us to give visibility to the land tenure governance issues. In one hand, to understand what's the state of land governance, so everyone can have a picture on how things are evolving. To understand the trends, so not only have the data about what's the situation, but try to assess what are the trends. We feel that there is a need for a new phase, a phase in which we really all try to create the commitment to change at scale, and a global report that shows the state of land governance and land tenure will be a fundamental step on that direction of bringing it to the political attention, give it visibility, to get all the stakeholders to have a discussion. So I would say it would be a public good at a global scale to the advancement of tenure rights for all. And I think that is the main objective here, is in one hand to have a reference document that all stakeholders around the world can follow the evolution of land tenure, as well as a space for sharing the lessons learned.
We have a better understanding of how land degradation, deforestation have an impact on climate change, for instance, how inequality in access and ownership of land has an impact, a linkage to poverty and to insecurity, food insecurity. Now we understand better than before, and we have the tools. That's the good news. The beauty is to fix that up. That's why it's relevant now to talk about that, particularly in light of the better understanding that we have of the relevance of tenure, governance of tenure, improved, responsible governance of tenure, to secure your access to food, access to resources, so people start, having a change in life, a change in their livelihoods, and also addressing major issues such as, again, climate change, for instance.
Two things have come up, one of which is to do with tenancy issues, which in the kind of broader world of tenure somehow are not received as much attention, even though it's a huge problem. And the other is an issue to do with intergenerational conflict and the importance of intergenerational conversations on tenure. So, for example, there's a rather large youth bulge in many countries. At the same time, youth feel quite left out of tenure discussions because, household heads, grandfathers, grandmothers have kind of held the authority over tenure. And yet, this is the new generation who needs to have a say and who also needs to be part of the conversation on how tenure rights are going to be inherited, how it influences their livelihood strategies going forward. So it's one of the chapters in the publication to look at then questions of intergenerational